beauty school. So today we're going to be talking about soaking off gels and acrylics. So there's a couple of ways you can soak off gels and acrylics. There's either a technique with a bowl, or you can use foil and cotton wool. So today the technique we're going to be going over is the soak off with the bowl. I think that is an excellent method. It's nice and quick. It's really good for your clients to have that little bit of relaxation as well. While they're having their foils removed. I find sometimes when you have the foil on, it can be just a little bit restrictive. You know, if your client goes to the bathroom as well, you'll find one will fall off here and there, whereas this is just a nice, simple, easy way to do a removal. So the main things that you need is a nail file. You also need a cuticle pusher. You also need a really good moisturiser. So we absolutely love the Elemis Pro Collagen hand moisturiser, and you also need a really good cuticle oil as well. One thing that you need to remember about soaking off any gels or acrylics, it does really dry out the nail bed and the skin around the hands and the nails. So as duty of care to your client, it's up to you to maintain that moisture. Okay, so we've got our acetone here. We just pop a little bit in the bowl, not too much. Make sure you never use silver aluminium bowls. It needs to be similar to this one, or a glass bowl. You can also increase the timing of the process by putting a bowl of hot water just underneath, and then resting the acetone bowl just on the top. Like when you're melting chocolate, it just heats up the acetone a little bit more than just room temperature, and just speeds the process. Once you've got everything ready, your client then puts her hands in. You can do one hand at a time or both. I think for time management it's great to do both. And then literally just pop a towel just over the top. So remember, with duty of care and workplace health and safety, we always need to make sure that when we're using chemicals, we need to keep the scent at a minimum for the client. You know, you never know that your client might have asthma or some chest conditions where, you know, things with a high scent like acetone or acrylic can actually set off and tighten the chest. So just be very mindful for your client, and just pop a towel over just to make it a lot more comfortable, because she's going to be waiting there for some time. So I'm going to soak both of my nails off just to show you. So I might just speed this process up a little bit, and then when we're done, I'll show you how they're getting along. So you can see we've got some that are starting to flake off more than others. That's fine. If you want to speed it on a little bit quicker, you can always buff over. Be careful if it's just gel, because the natural nail is just underneath. But definitely if you're removing acrylics completely, it's a really good idea to give them a really good buff over with a file before you pop them into soak. So just buff over the top, just because it's going to help that acetone to just wear in a little bit more. Being really careful not to catch the natural nail. And then just pop those back into soak. They'll probably need about another 10-15 minutes. Next to me I have got a candle. Just remember, acetone is highly flammable. So just be super careful if you are working next to a candle. If you're not used to working with chemicals such as acetone, and you do like to have candles around, just while you get used to it, just for safety reasons, I would just not have any candles on until you get used to the product. Let's have a look at how this left hand's doing. Yep, so you can see it's starting to wear away just that little bit. When it starts to tug like this, you can see it's still adhered to the natural nail. Then when you run over the top, that's actually coming away nice and easy. Yeah. So it's really good just to take the client's hand out and just run over with your cuticle pusher or your spatula or even an orange stick. Orange sticks are great because they're just disposable, really good at preventing cross-contamination. You use a new one for each client. Yep, still taking a while to come away. Pop that one back in. So I think it'll probably take another 5 minutes for this one to be done. If you are struggling a little bit, again, you can work into the gel or acrylic with your nail file. But always use a nail file that's a little bit old. Try not to use a new one, just because it will take that abrasiveness off the nail file to an extent. So just bear that in mind if you are going to use your file during the removal process. In between your acetone search, just make sure it's a little bit of an older file. Again, when you are filing, try not to catch the natural nail bed. If the client does feel any burning sensations, that means you are in fact filing into the nail bed, which will actually thin the nail plate and cause damage. So really make sure you just be nice and delicate actually on the top of that gel. Yeah, so it's just helping to come away a little bit nicer. Just watch your file angling, just to ensure you're not causing any damage. Yeah, and then back into circ. So it will just help you to speed up the process a little bit by filing. Generally, when you are circing off any nails before a procedure, you always allocate yourself about 30 minutes. So whenever you've got a client that calls you to book an appointment for acrylics or gels, it's always good to just double check with them, have you got any gels or acrylics on at the moment? Because there's nothing worse than a client coming in and you literally having a 30-minute slot booked out for a set of gels, and you've actually need to use that 30-minute slot to remove the gels before you even get started.